Absolutely. I mean, 39-1, no joke there.
No joke at all.
2493. I mean, definitely crazy. So our players are about ready. So we're going to jump into the first match here. We'll be on Vermeer. Let's get into it. All right. And spawning in the top right, we have Mr. Sziky himself. And in the bottom right, it is Bonyth. This is nice though. Here, Zun, we got turn rate 24 low. Look at that. Good deal here for these players.
I mean, you like to see it. Hydralisks, for example, very hot, the most microbuild unit in the game, you could argue. Very responsive. So being able to storm dodge and force high interaction trades and skirmishes, much more interesting to watch, and being able to control your units with precision does create very exciting trades. So I'm very excited going forward for sure.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Sziky goes for here. Is he going to go? Okay, we went for an Overlord. I was like, is he going to go for a 9-pool speed here, knowing that Bonyth does like to play with a gateway first openers? So I was interested, but we're not. It seems like we're not going to be playing that way. Bonyth going to be going for the standard 9-gate like he does.
Yeah.
Very good timing. 110 9-gate. Wow. Mining extremely efficiently, that means, to get that.
Now he's also going to be checking this 3 o'clock, so he sees the Overlord and sees the good news that he can just get the very quick scout. Maybe put a little bit of harassment with this probe as well. Can be a little bit annoying in terms of getting the hatchery online in the natural expansion once the probe knows exactly where you are. I wonder just how much indirect damage Bonyth will be able to do to Sziky here to disrupt him from getting a good macro game underway.
Let's see if he'll stop. He needs to go in and check. Seeing the Overlord, you got to make sure not 9-pool speed, it's just overpool. Sziky, good micro on his drone, making sure Bonyth didn't get that first hit, because then could cause some trouble, but he is going to force some missing time here for this hatchery.
Yeah, he should know that it's not 9-pool just because of the second Overlord. I think he was more concerned about how many eggs were being made or something. He mainly should be concerned about blocking this hatchery like he is, but not quite getting back there in time. Enough distance was created by Sziky by that chase micro. Good micro there, going to be stopping disaster by getting that hatchery blocked indefinitely.
Yeah, 4 lings out. Pretty standard to get the 4 lings. They get a couple drones and add some more lings there. Bonyth right now just not showing his zealot in the view of the Overlord, so Sziky doesn't know where it is. Sziky going to take his third base. All very standard stuff. Bonyth, it seems like, opting for possibly the third zealot first before taking this Nexus, because he's already at 22.
Yeah. I mean, taking a Nexus like this can be punishing. I mean, the Lings can come in and block the wall going down. You can get in some damage on the gateway here and eventually break down the wall because there's no cannons to eventually stabilize. And I mean, this could be problematic. At the very least, these Lings might soften up this wall for a Hydra bust later on.
Yeah, we do see at least already 8 Lings have been made, so Sziky playing, cautiously a little bit, making sure he's going to get it.
Yeah. I mean, chasing down this probe with just a singular Ling here, I'm not sure if this is ideal enough, because now you can't obfuscate your build order as the Zerg in this situation. The Protoss is so much more comfortable seeing how many Lings are being made, which is none, and also seeing that you're not going for a Hydra bust, you're not going for anything crazy right now. Like, this is the timing you'd want to throw down this den, and you can't really place it very many locations due to limitations of creep, so this is a very comfortable position to be in as Bonyth sees the lair timing. Now he knows he's super safe, so Bonyth, going to be able to min-max to his heart content here. I feel like a bit of missed opportunity from Sziky. He should have hunted down this probe.
Yeah, I was hoping to see Bonyth actually skip Forge and go core first. Knowing that it's overpool, he has the Zealots out. He could have made the wall. I think it would have been could have helped him get his Stargate up a little faster, but not making a cannon, foregoing that, obviously seeing the lair and not more Lings, so he's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Bonyth would be definitely feeling like $1 million right now. Like getting full scouting information and being able to just sit back and do your thing. You're feeling absolutely like a G. And now you can put on pressure with Zealots and not even risk a run by. There would be a chance if this probe hadn't scouted, then he would know how many lings would have been made and wouldn't be so confident moving out with these Zealots. But now can put on some pressure safely about worrying about the Zealots getting gobbled up.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be just posturing to go forward, right?
Yeah, just
no
posturing
need
to
to
force lings.
actually go. Force some more lings. Don't waste your zealots. Yep,
Yeah.
he forced lings out. Those got drones. He's feeling good. Oof, Sziky running into the zealot wall.
Okay, he opens up the wall now. The lings could get us around on this zealot. There's not enough really to do a run by, even though it's only one cannon. It's a little bit risky to move out with just a single cannon. Usually you'd wait for two to move out with the zealots, but he's feeling pretty confident with how the game state is going. Does finally kill that, but now with the link speed, he's thinking about punishing that one cannon. And this is the problem with just having one cannon online. Now things like this can happen. Does get a good block with the probes, though. Beautiful block from Bonyth, avoiding complete disaster. Most of those links do get inside the main base.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a disaster here for Bonyth. I mean, he's already lost 2, 3 probes. Gonna be 4.
Oh, this is rough.
5. Yeah, that's big damage. 2 pulls, 1 from each mineral line. Bonyth not going to be happy with him. And Sziky making a ton of Zerglings right now. I wonder if he's thinking, hey, I'm going to send more.
Yes, yes.
I think he's going for it.
Yeah, and then use these to sandwich the cannon from the high ground in a minute when the links are done and on the way. So, yeah, you want to keep these alive, though. Doesn't want to necessarily lose these links unless he can trade off a Zealot here. Pretty good from Bonyth, killing these links without losing a Zealot. Now this will make this follow-up pressure from the links not really able to come in and do anything. I think Sziky was considering it, but I don't think he's going to be able to achieve it anymore.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Sziky wanted to fight there with those Zealots and just run around.
Yeah. It is what it is. Now the Zealots can come to the wall and you can't run around from behind.
Oh my God. I thought he was going to go in, man. I thought he was going to go in and see it was open and say, all right, I'm going again.
He's baiting him, surely. Like, you kind of want him to go into those lings at this point. Then you can counterattack with the Zealots and put on a lot of pressure because you don't want to remake lings at this point. You want to make drones. So does have a couple of Scourge out to try and intercept this Corsair, but it's not going to be enough. Manages to run away in time. I don't know, man. Like, I'm a little bit cautious here for Sziky. He has to maybe go for an Ogre Zerg or something, right? Like, what do we do here?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned because he's made so many Zerglings. And we did get 5 or 6 pro kills, but we made like 24, 36 Zerglings. Yeah. So it's, you know, your eco's hurt. And I'm like looking at these bases with 5 drones at it. And now we're making Sunkens. Never ideal spot.
No, I mean, you have some gas banks. So like I said, we could see an Ogre Zerg transition eventually, but it's going to take him a little bit of time to get that underway. Some safety Sunkens will be allowing him to go into that mid game a bit safely, but it's hindering his economy further even more. We might be seeing some Mutalisks being made now. 5 Mutas, then some Scourge, maybe into a little bit of an Ogre Zerg here. We'll have to wait and see if he wants to go for that setup. He definitely could from this position, and with the vertical axis, it would make some sense. I can see it working here for him. I don't know. Did you think like Lurkers would make sense here? I don't think Lurkers can work because there's no way you could soft contain easily in this situation. I feel like going for a more mid-range and straight into Lurkers wouldn't be too fruitful here. I feel like taking advantage of the gas and maybe going for like a bit of a muta play and sniping Templars might be a bit more of a better strategy. Yeah,
I think Lurkers here means you're going to let Bonyth have a third. Right, because by the time you get down here and he presses back, you're like, all right, let's have a third, and you're kind of committing to playing defensively like that. So I'm surprised we didn't have and he could have gotten in again. That would have been another way for him to get in here.
I mean, just pressuring to do it, keeping the Zealots back is something here. Not allowing the Zealots just have free reign out on the map and put some pressure on maybe. That's not too bad. Finally got 6 Corsairs, so we'll feel a lot more confident now to push out with the Zealot Sair, see if he can apply pressure. Hydra's distracted with the Zealots, won't be able to prevent the Corsairs going to town on those Overlords, so might be able to get something done.
I'm a little worried here for Sziky. He's blocking now, which is good, but he's gonna have to target down these Zealots, and the Sair are gonna do their damage, you know?
Right.
So if he really wants to try to kind of combine the two, I think he'd be okay. We have a 7th Sair coming now.
There's a weird battle calculation with SimCity, right? Like if your Hydras are like slightly out of position, suddenly like the Pros percent to win like shoots up to almost like 80%. But while the Hydras are in position in the SimC, the win percent is like closer to 10. It's like really weird how the power balance quickly flips based on how the Hydras are abusing the SimCity in the Zealot style. So right now it looks like Bonyth has to kind of respect the SimCity of Sziky, but now he comes out a little bit with the Hydras, and maybe the Zealots can get a bit of a surround and pounce on it. Now that the Hydras can move around a little bit, there might be an opening for Bonyth to punish. So he's sharking around with his Corsairs to see what he can get done, see if he can move the Hydras out of position. At the very least, getting a lot of these Overlord kills.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch there. Good micro from him. Really going to be hurting Sziky's time. Bond's got to watch these Sarah, because if they catch it just like that, where, oh my goodness, we're just giving away Sarah. Don't do it, Bond. Don't do it.
That was 3 for free, and 1 was on red HP as well, and that's a lot of gas to lose. So he can't really afford to keep making Templars and replace those. So now there's a Muta switch option for Sziky. He could make enough Mutalisks to snipe these high Templars and then amass his Hydras. So there's not enough utility in Psionic Storm to deal with the mass Hydra. There's an opportunity here for Sziky to take a big advantage if he wants to.
Yeah, I was saying Bond was going to be great. If he kept those Sarah alive, I think he has the clear advantage, because Sziky looking to put some pressure on with the speed already on his Overlords. But now I think Sziky does have some more options here. I'm not sure attacking is the right one, but we're opting for it. We're losing some Hydra.
I feel like Mutas are the right option here, not skirmishing with the Hydra. You already know that there's a lot of meat in the Zealots. There's not really a room to abuse too much with skirmishing. We know that they can just run away, so really what would be better is a Muta transition, but we're not seeing that just yet, at least.
And no Muta transition just yet. We're going to play a Hydra Lurk here from Sziky. I feel like his 4th base here is a little bit late. Like, I feel like he should already have it up here or started at 11 minutes, but looking maybe to fight on 3 base.
I mean, maybe he's waiting for the 3 base, and then he's going to go and try and set up aggressively with the Lurkers. I don't know. Like, I'm not too sure about this play from Sziky. I hope it works out for him, but this is not the decision that I would have chosen. I'm not too sure it works because Bonyth can circumnavigate these Lurkers too easily. I'm not sure. We're supposed to shuttle though.
Yeah, now we're going to see the Scourge there, but let's see here what he's going to do. He sees it again. No way he's getting in this. Oh my goodness.
Wow. He let the DT drop. That was kind of weird. He knew it was coming. Manages to get the DT in. That's pretty big. Forcing the run with the drones. There's a lot of lost mining time and lost some drones here. This is pretty painful economically.
Yeah, I mean, supplies are even though here, so that making me a little nervous. And Bonyth running up to this ramp here, finding the Lurkers. Sziky very happy right now, sitting on 3 bases, but I feel like he's on the timer a little bit.
Yeah.
He needs to get himself moving.
I mean, this is kind of crazy. I don't know what we are doing here. I mean, this Lurker position is good, is strong, but you can kind of run around it as well. Needs to be careful that Sziky just doesn't find himself completely caught out of position. If he can macro up a huge army, maybe this will be good if he can maintain for now. Does manage to snipe that Observer. There's only one left. Also wants to be careful not to lose this Overlord. He has got another backup one. If a Dark Templar could come in here and be annoying. Does get some good 2-for-1 storms. Pretty good value here. This is looking pretty dire. Storm. Yeah, I feel like he might be able to push up onto this high ground now.
Another okay storm there, getting some Hydra. I mean, Sziky here sitting on 3 bases, finally getting to his 4, but Bonyth's taking his 3rd, so I don't think Bonyth feels like he's under any pressure to move, you know? Like, why go and attack up here when you're taking your 3rd gas? You can go take your 4th. He's not on a lot of bases. Bonyth doesn't know all the way yet, but
yeah, I mean, this is
him to move these Lurkers. You know, this is where things get tricky.
I just hope he doesn't treat this like the Roman Empire and, like, you know, spread himself too thinly here. He needs to make sure he's not like he has to consolidate more of his forces. Now these Lurkers are kind of isolated. They are doing a lot of chomp damage with the subterranean spines on those Zealots, but not going to be able to take out the whole army. He needs to stop losing so many Zealots right now, trading a lot of army for not a lot. Maybe somehow, though, if he can go into this high ground, but Sziky's going for a counterattack. I don't think Sziky even cares right now. He just wants to kill this 3rd base of Bonyth, and if he's got enough back at home him to defend his... Oh, he's
no.
getting right on top of the probes, Braz.
He is, but he's targeting down the cannons right now,
No,
and all
he's
the lurkers are dead. He still may be able to get this base here. It may be enough. He has another storm there. Oh, a storm goes down. And how does Sziky hold his third base?
Yeah, I don't know. He's losing Hydras and drones. Yeah, this is not how you want to be deep inside your Sim City with storms coming out. It's such a shame that he didn't target fire the probes with the lurkers. So many probes could have gone down. He's got a few Hydras there, but there are rallied units coming out to defend that back at home while he's trying to deal with this attack on the 12 o'clock position. He's not going to kill those probes at the third base critically. If only he had target fired them down, maybe we'd be talking about a bit of a different game state. But now he's also struggling to clean up on aisle 5 at this 12 o'clock base. This is looking a little bit more and more Bonyth favored as time ticks on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Bonyth has done it here. He's broken the third, and there's the GG from Sziky. Yeah, I was going to say Bonyth has broken the third. He held his own third. Sziky trades out everything. Doesn't really get anything in his favor, so that'll be a 1-0 for Bonyth here in this series.
Wow. I mean, I really feel like Mutalisks were the answer there. I'm a little bit surprised by the decision making from Sziky. He's also really good with Muta control. I don't know why he didn't feel like he could just go Ogre Zerg or at the very least get the Mutalisks to snipe High Templars there. There was a little bit of a window to abuse that, and I don't feel like either he didn't identify it or he just didn't feel like he should have. I feel like that's the wrong choice. He wanted to abuse the terrain too much on Vermeer with lurkers securing those high ground areas, but it didn't work out to him. Spread too thinly, and just coming out on top is Bonyth strongly and early on in here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he made a lot of lings early too. I feel like he ran by and he wanted to go for a kill and didn't really pull the trigger all the way, and then that really hurt his economy going into the mid game. The fourth was late, so definitely a little bit of struggles there. But listen, game one, you know, Sziky, extremely strong player. You know, I'm sure he'll bounce back from this one right here. Bonyth probably feeling good. Got the first game down under his belt. Now he's like, all right, let's just continue to focus going forward, and it's going to his map pick. So
yeah, I mean, that's what you want. You just won the game on your opponent's map pick. Now you're going into something you're comfortable with. Bonyth's going to be feeling way better than he was against Mihu. Now all the steam is going to be churning for him, and hopefully he can go all the way and get the spot. It would be a bit of a shame if he gets knocked out against Sziky as well. I mean, even though I'm a Zerg guy, I'm kind of feeling like I want Bonyth to win a little bit here. I think both players are going to be ready, so we're going to be going into Apocalypse for our game number 2.
all right, and spawning in the 12 o'clock position, we have Sziky. And in the bottom left, it is Bonyth. Now, I will say, on this map, the gateway first is definitely a little bit trickier, right? Yeah. Because like you have like a 3 gap wall. So I wonder if we'll see Sziky get real crazy, real tricky, and go with that 9 pool speed that we've seen him do before.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that would be beautiful and necessary to disrupt the ebb and flow of a series. I really do feel like you don't want to just sit back and play a mid-range style every single time as a Zerg. You want to put the fear of God into the Protoss.
Absolutely. You could definitely do that and get tricky and get crazy with it. And then we're going to see Bonyth, I think, is going to be opting for Forge this time by sending the scout out. So
yeah, usually when you see the probe go right away from making the pylon, it indicates that he's not optimizing his mineral income. He wants to just get a fast scout and locate the Berserkers early on so we can optimize the timing of the Forge and Nexus. But usually if you're going for the gateway, you're hanging back, optimizing your mineral income just a little bit so you won't be sending this probe out super early.
Yeah, I think he's going to get in here and see that Sziky is opting for the overpool again, so we may have a Nexus before a cannon here.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll go Forge into Nexus into cannon, so pretty standard from him.
Yeah. And you don't have to make the Forge really early on. You can make it a little bit later. Like sometimes you'll see them make it like around now, as late as possible, depending on what they scout, how far away you are, what map it is. Sometimes you can get away with making it just a few seconds later. and not have to worry too much about dying early on, and squeezing out a few extra minerals can make the difference for your build. Or look at this with the drone though, putting on so many shots on this pro. He wants to not let this block the hatchery, but he has delayed it indirectly for quite some time.
Yeah, and Sziky is going to be knowing like, hey, this is Forge because the probe is here, so he's probably not going to make 6 Zergling. He'll probably just make 2. Bonyth's sending a second probe.
No. I don't know. I feel like he might make 4 lings here at least to kill the probes.
All right, I think maybe just a misclick for a hotkey there from Bonyth sending back his probe. You see a little giggle from him. I think he's saying, oops, you're not supposed to be there, little buddy. Come on back home.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe, unless he thought like if there was only 1 pair of lings and they chased the other probe while the other one cannon rushes, maybe, I don't know, maybe there was some shenanigans or just a missed micro, who knows to say. But I think the 4 lings are absolutely necessary to put on some pressure, force a cannon, force probes up the line. He's not going to necessarily get a run by here, but might get one of these probes. That would be huge. He's not going to get a beautiful. Oh, he runs away, targets 1, gets 2. That's huge. That's crazy from Sziky of just the 4 lings. That's really high level stuff with the absolute bare minimum. You don't usually see it. It requires a little bit of extra finesse and understanding of the early game, and Sziky is managing to get himself into a great spot with not much investment.
Yeah, 2 probe kills, big deal there, and now he's got this 1 Zergling in here just being a pain. Hopefully he'll be able to pull Bonyth mining offline. That's the goal here. Bonyth does get the Nexus up first, so that'll make him happy, so he'll be able to recover some of these probes. But yeah, good job from Sziky there.
I mean, just knowing that the cannon was only warping in, and you just had a few extra seconds to get right up and in there with those 4 lings. Usually you'd need like 6 lings to make something like that pan out, but due to how late the cannon was warping in, managed to get it. Also gets the scouting probe as well. That's pretty huge.
Because of the delay there, it'll be Bonyth should see the lair anyway. Yeah. But
yeah, there's like a 2 delay, right?
Yeah, it would almost been better for Sziky to wait for Fog of War to go away and then drop it.
Yeah.
Zyky's Overlord taking damage in the front there, hopefully. Oh my god, he lost the Overlord in the front.
Yeah.
Like, Sziky lost that Overlord to the cannon. Yeah. He's now supply block. That is
a big deal.
Disaster for Sziky. Oh, he canceled the lair, double dens, and we were talking about this the other day. Look at this, Sziky getting crazy, man. He's going to be dropping 2 Hydra dens, so he is going to have to be able to get speed and range very quickly, but he needs to get these drones mining and be effective, man.
Okay, yeah, he's a little bit slow. I think with losing that Overlord, though, it hinders his timings, though, because we lost this Overlord to that cannon. We then have to remake an Overlord. That's 2 drones we couldn't make, and that's a lot of growth potential lost. You're not just losing out on those 2 drones. You're losing out on potentially like 4.5 because you also can't make additional drones from the minerals that they would have mined. So that tiny mistake compounds exponentially here. This is going to be a little bit problematic, and now Sziky has to choose between drones and lings to deal with these 2 zealots.
And what's really going to be tough is that Bond's going to see 1 drone here and be like, huh? What's going on here?
Now he's suspicious.
Suspicious. Okay, I thought we lost that. Don't lose that drone.
It was very close. I mean, losing the mining time enough is punishing enough, though. It has to be said. Like, every mineral is precious when you're going for these timing attacks, and now he sees the Hydra. This is huge. Yeah, he saw the upgrades as well.
Wait, yeah, he sees upgrades. He knows what's going on here now. All right. He should just start making a ton of cannons at home, which he is. Sziky needs to haul his Hydra across the map as soon as possible, because this is one of those instances where it's going to be hard to even fake it, right? It's not like you can make 3 Hydra here. You put 2 dens down, you got double upgrades, you killed your economy. You have to go for it. Can he? He might get it, son. He might get it.
He might. I mean, the Corsair will
starts now. Here he goes.
Oh, the cannons are finishing. I don't think he can do it. I think losing that Overlord to the cannon lost him the game, because he couldn't make any drones. He couldn't get his economy off the ground to make this timing work. There wasn't enough lava. Like, he's saturating drones. He's not even committing to this. He's basically having to turn this into a fake, even though he shouldn't. So he's playing seriously unoptimized.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there that he's going to now have to try to play this game out. I mean, it's not even like Bonyth made 6 cannons, he made 4.
Right.
So he's in a hole with 4 cannons versus someone who went double den, canceled a lair.
And those 4 cannons are minimum as well. Like, he should make 4 cannons, so it's not like he made any additional. So this is really ideal for Bonyth, the absolute bare minimum defense, and now he can just transition himself. No lair on the way. We're going to be forced into not even Battlezerg tech for the mid game. We are not looking ideal as Sziky. We're going to have to think of something creative. He's going to have to go wide and make an absolute monstrous amount of Hydras by producing as many hatcheries as possible and trying to catch up in the lava count maybe and oversaturate a little bit.
So Bonyth is now adding a ton of cannons because his Sayer are seeing that more Hydra are being made. So he's expecting now that Sziky is actually going to continue, and he made a couple drones, but he's on 4 hatcheries with a ton of Hydra coming out.
Yeah, but this trade might actually go okay for Sziky. He's like, if he kills some of these Zealots, so if they can't really run away, they'll also take damage. I mean, this is actually looking pretty good for Bonyth because of how many Hydras are dying. This is almost looking okay for Sziky if he could get the micro a little bit better and not lose as many Hydras. If only the Overlord didn't die, all of this would have been avoided, but it is what it is. He's going to have to play from behind. He has traded okay with the Zealots, but now we see 4 additional gateways coming online. Templar already ready, and with these 4 cannons set up from earlier, he's going to be feeling pretty confident about the defense integrity.
Yeah, that slash, I mean, we're on 4 hatcheries here, so that's just not a build, right? To go the 4 hatch Hydra.
I mean,
you really want to get into 5 or 6, so
pre-storm,
this is definitely an issue here.
Pre-storm, you can kill them with 4 hatch Hydra. Once Storm comes online and they've got cannons, yeah, 4 hatch Hydra just doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah, we see Bonyth here just running in to trade whatever. He doesn't care. He kills Hydra, drones. It doesn't even matter. Drones probably even worse than Hydra at this point because we don't have much. Ooh, big storm. Sziky doesn't respond.
He's too busy with the main base, drone drilling with those Zealot pressure, great double dip, isolating the attention span of Sziky into the main base, so he can't even handle the pressure. This is looking wild. He's even getting some drone kills with these Zealots. How good is Bonyth?
Oh my goodness, he kills 2 there. That's unbelievable. Sziky maybe hoping to play into some sort of contain. I don't know what his best option is from this route. He's been so delayed now. We see him finally adding a 5th hatchery and more drones now. But Bonyth gateways are now online. Ooh, maybe we'll see a Muta switch.
I mean, I would love to see the Muta switch. I mean, the last game was basically begging for a Muta switch, and he wasn't going for it. But maybe in this game, he can somehow figure out that, okay, this is what is the play. At the very least, he will have to get some Scourge to get some air dominance back in his favor, and then maybe he can turn the tide in the skies. Would be ideal for him. Pretty much just the Zealot Templar Templar composition for him to compete with. The Archon would make it complicated later on, but still could get the Templar snipes for the Hydras to do their job, so would be ideal. Coming in here and killing 1 additional drone. Won't be able to get much more for his money though, unfortunately. There is now the critical mass of Hydras has been reached to force a Dragoon transition. We'll be able to come out onto the map and skirmish with him later on, but for the time being, Sziky has weathered the storm.
Yeah, right now, Bonyth's feeling very comfortable. As long as he just gets into a strong macro here, he should be able to push Sziky to the end if he can just get the units out. I mean, we might see a Muta switch, but I don't think he has the gas. So I think right now we're just going to see Hydra.
Yeah. He has got 3 gas going, so the longer the game goes on, the more gas he'll pile up in his stockpile. That's 900 gas a minute. That Hydras won't be able to spend that, but it'll be some time before he can even afford to build Mutalisks if he is constantly macroing. So he might be just trying to get the job done with pure Hydra. I'm not too sure how successful he'll be. He did dry up a lot of the Zealots, though. It has to be said, it's more or less pure Dragoon Templar, just a handful of Zealots in this army. Additional Zealots now coming out in the rally point, but there might be enough trade potential for Sziky. If he can somehow isolate Dragoons individually, dodge the storms, it's not terrible for him. It is possible, it's very difficult.
Yeah, the problem is Bonyth's taking a 3rd base. Like, he doesn't even have to commit here if he doesn't want to. He can just put the pressure on, force more units. Oh my goodness, all those overlords for those Sayers, man. Sziky going forward looks like a counter attack.
I don't know. This is
Bonyth
the way to
has
play.
Bonyth has like 20 cannons in his main Earth Natural. I mean, so
And he's not even going to have enough back here to
Hydra
defend.
going down. I think Bonyth will just cancel that third base and sit behind his cannons and take Sziky out here.
Right.
No real pressure for him to do anything crazy, right? Like you're killing the hatcheries off, and there's the GG from Sziky, seeing that Bonyth was about to break his third base.
Yeah, I understand the thought process from Sziky. He knows that, like, to keep his win percent alive, he has to do something while defending. You know, in an ideal world, you want to successfully defend and get some compensation for the bad trades that occurred, like stopping the third base. But it doesn't matter if you just die. So I see the vision for Sziky trying to play for some kind of win percentage there, but it just wasn't in the cards. Bonyth's just too good.
Yeah, I mean, really, really strong from Bonyth. Really good play. Made all the right decisions. Sziky getting tricky. Love the double den there. Really well done from him, but unfortunately losing the overlord, that really sets him behind, and then he's playing from behind the whole time and doing best. So, all right, we're going to be just going into a small little break right here, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Nice. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am now joined with Jiraiya. Unfortunately, my co-caster Raz had to step outside for some family shenanigans, so instead got another cool cat in the booth here with me. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I can't complain. I was watching some amazing StarCraft just now. I'm not sure if you saw what was going on, but we got Bonyth versus Sziky right now. Bonyth lost to Mihu, and now they're facing off against one another. And unfortunately, Bonyth was just too much for Sziky to handle in game number 1 on Vermeer, and that was even Sziky's pick. So now we're going into more and more games. How are you feeling about this series?
So Bonyth won game 2 as well, so now it's 2-0.
Yeah.
Got it. So this is going to be game 3. Sziky on the fence. I mean, man, I kind of always root for both of these guys whenever they're playing. So I did catch game 2 and saw that Sziky decided to go drones instead of the Hydras, and the chat was going insane. And yeah, it just feels like a squandered opportunity there. But you know, we've seen Sziky in this spot before. I want to mention Zanhoon when he was down 0. No, he was up. It was a reverse. Never mind. Apologies. But Sziky, high-level guy. I mean, I'm always rooting for him to be against the fence here. I'm really hoping that he puts up a fight here in game number 4 or game number 3.
I mean, it is his weakest matchup, but it has to be said, like, his MMR is so high. He's such a strong player. So just because you got a low MMR, it's low match rating, it doesn't matter. Like 53% at this level is crazy. Both players are raised. We're going to be jumping into game number 3 here on Neo Dark Origin. Spawning in the top left as the red Protoss is Bonyth. And currently 2 games down. Can he get it together? It's Sziky. I mean, usually Sziky's a bit of a Hungarian dragon flying through the skies. We've seen a bit of an adversity to going for those Mutalisk units thus far in this series. I wonder if we're going to be seeing them this game. I don't know, I hope so, but with this 1v1 map setup, we might be seeing some early game shenanigans too.
Yeah, what is this map again, Zune?
Neo Dark Origin.
Neo Dark Origin, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, NDO stands for.
So he didn't go Muta game 1? I saw game 2. Is game 1 he didn't go Muta?
Yeah, just like, you know, Scourge setup kind of thing. Nothing really too crazy. And then in the game number 2, we had this opportunity to go for Mutas and punish, especially after getting those the Corsair snipes. We killed like 3 Corsairs and 1 was low HP. We had the opportunity to take a little bit of advantage of that. And we just didn't. We just went into lurkers and kind of like went for a take the map kind of play, which was a little bit strange.
Man, well, that's kind of discouraging to hear because last week and the weeks prior, I want to say that Sziky kind of rediscovered himself when it comes to ZVP, in that he was using Mutas and Scourge as a way to not only put pressure on, but almost as a defensive measure. And I remember casting some of those games and thinking, hey, this is Sziky in a different form, and this is him reinventing himself. And to hear that he didn't go for such opens, I hope that maybe in this game he can. I'm not sure if this map, Neo Dark Origin, makes it harder, but here's a Bonyth probe.
This is the problem with Neo Dark Origin, is you get a lot of like probe shenanigans just blocking your hatchery easily. They'll always know exactly where you are. There's always some kind of hassle to deal with, so you can't just go for your usual crisp like timing. So
my God!
Oh, look at this. This is the problem with 1v1 maps. Sometimes you just got to deal with all this kind of craziness. Now he's got to wait for the Zerglings to come deal with it. He can also cancel that pylon. He'll probably force the hatchery to come down at this third base location, which does favor him because then he can put pressure on with this Zealot. He hasn't seen it with the Overlord. He doesn't. Oh, now he sees the gateway, but hasn't even built this hatchery at the third, or then now puts it down at his natural with another drone. This is crazy delay. Crazy delay from Bonyth.
Yeah, definitely served its purpose, the Bonyth probe, as per normal. But good to see that the pylon was canceled for Sziky to take his second at his nat, I guess. When I'm playing Zerg and I do that, I'm like, okay, at least I put it there versus here. But he kind of gets both at the same time. Ling's in front of Bonyth here. Zero, we want to see. Okay. Yeah, so no forge yet.
Yeah. The no forge is the issue, and yeah, you can put a lot of pressure on with Lings here. The only issue is that we slowed down this hatchery so long that there's not much lava available for Sziky, so he can't really apply the kind of pressure he would like to. So he might not even go for that. He might just drone up like normal here. Having such a slow hatchery timing doesn't afford him much potential with the low lava count.
Yeah, look at Bonnie. I mean, this is such a confident play. I don't know if this is standard, but for him to just be like not making the... Is he going to make a cybernetics core at his wall? Or
yeah,
is that gonna
maybe. He might make... no.
Oh, it's a forge. Okay.
You usually make the core in your next in the natural, right? If you like want to like worry about a Hydra bust, and then like...
Oh, right. Yeah.
If you're not worried about the Hydra bust, you don't really even need to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, Bonyth coming out with 2 Zealots here.
Yeah. And you might even make the cannons right up on his wall anyway, so wanting to protect the wall from any Hydra aggression if he does elect to do that. But now forcing more and more Lings to come and deal with these Zealots punching away at this hatchery. He will eventually be attacked by these Lings, but will be able to get behind these minerals over and over again and be super annoying. Sziky ideally would want to trade these out. He is going for this Hydra bust style. Okay, I think that Bonyth will make cannons up against the wall. Yeah, he's going to protect the forge with the, this is exactly what I thought he would go for here. Yeah, this is good call.
I mean, he's sending his Lings towards Bonyth. Bonyth is making a cannon. Zealots are still here. He's trying to, sneak out some minerals in in the process. But this is not looking good for Sziky. Sziky needs to respect these 2 Zealots, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll see Queen do stuff like this, where he'll just leave the Zealots in the back of the mineral, sometimes even just containing them with some Zerglings. It's a very weird way of playing. Usually you want to force the trades, even if it's suboptimal value, but not going to be going for that. Instead, trying to get some Hydras up. But now these Zealots can not only be annoying, but potentially spot that you're going for this Hydra bust play.
Right. And Sziky's one that does Ling speed while trying to do the Hydra bust, but he also makes Ling speed when he's going layer, so I guess that's not exactly a tell for Bonyth that he sees the Link speed right now, but he's still not mining from it. And you're almost, if you're Sziky, you're almost tempted to make a couple Hydras to make it really easier to deal with those 2 Zealots versus just, you know, forcing their way in there.
Yeah, I mean, eventually the Corsair will come out and confirm exactly what's what. But now he has not much idea besides what he's guessing. Sziky obviously not going to be making Hydras from this 3rd hatchery to obfuscate that. Now producing Hydras off these main 2 hatcheries. I wonder if these eggs are going to be Hydras and he's going to show these now that he's assuming the Corsair will see them anyway. Yeah. Or if they won't be. I wonder what these will be.
Yeah, looks like, I mean, I hope
Lings.
They're more Lings. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, that hides the fact that he's going for the bust, right? And it also helps him reinforce the bust to soak up the damage from the Zealots and allow him to get right on top of the wall to target down the cannons. He sees the Corsair.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Now he's attacking additional cannons. Okay, he's only got 2 finished right now. The 3rd one will not be done in time. This might be a critical enough timing. I think that Ziky's going to bust through here. I don't think there's enough damage in these Zealots to hold this off. I think if he can get up on top of this wall with the Hydras, he will be able to do this, but he needs to drill with the probes.
Oh, man,
the Zealots at the 3rd base, though, can help the probes drill if they want to.
Okay, Hydras are on top of the cannons now. 1 goes down, but 2nd and 3rd do get up in time. But Ziky's all in. There's no droning from here. He's all in. Yeah. He's all in. He's got to go.
He's targeting the gateway. He will at least get that. Now that the cannons on the left are softened up, maybe get the forge. Now target firing these overlords, going to be pinning down the Hydras at the very least. And without defending this 3rd base from these Zealots, they now will eventually kill that hatchery slowly but surely as well. So he's on a little bit of a clock here. Is Sziky to get the job done? Can't even snipe the upgrade timing and killing the forge. So has to go for it right here, right now. Produce as many Hydras as possible and try and break through the critical mass of cannons that Bonyth is currently warping in.
Yeah, it looks like Sziky's just waiting for a little bit more, but each second that he waits is just another cannon coming up for Bonyth, and he knows that it's all in here. So Sziky, I mean, that's so many cannons at this point. Sziky just doesn't have the numbers. He's been at 43 for so long. These Corsairs have been so annoying to Sziky.
Yeah, this is the problem, is that because the Corsairs have been so annoying, he can't squeeze out the few extra Hydras that he needs to finish the job. If he had like a few extra Hydras, he might just barely have enough to push through here. He needs to open up this gateway one more time so there's more surface area for the Hydras to come in and gun down the cannons in short order. If he keeps reinforcing these Hydras, eventually he might have get enough. Even if the probes screen, this is still a crazy amount of Hydras. He might be able to get the job done with good target firing.
Hungarian Dragon!
He tries to get the probe drilled on the Hydras. He's breaking through the front line. 4 cannons are down. Can he do it? This is absolutely crazy. The probe screening is absolutely monstrous. Those Corsairs and Zealots providing great vision for the drill to allow the probes to deny it him getting in here. He has to GG out. Unfortunately, this is crazy. 3-0 from Bonyth, taking out the Hungarian Dragon, sniping the heart of that dragon so easily.
I'm shaking. My heart is racing. I thought he had enough there, but Bonyth with the probes, I think he just executed that just so perfectly, getting on top. I mean, there were so many cannons, but just Sziky, it looked like he could have made it, but somehow those probes just got on top. And probes, as everyone knows, Bonyth probes, very good, very strong.
He did a great job of screening with the probes and didn't commit to the drill until the Hydras committed to the plug in the wall. Very well executed hold there from Bonyth to avoid any potential disaster, and sniping just a few critical overlords, preventing any critical mass from just bowling him over on attack moves. So really well threading of the needle for Bonyth there and sniping the dragon out of the sky.
Yeah, well put. Bonyth just showing his class. I did see his games against Mihu. I saw game 1, which was amazing, and then game 2, which was even more amazing to tie things up. So I didn't catch the entire series, but Mihu looked really good in that series. But to see Bonyth bounce back here, really nice for him too. But Sziky, does that mean Ziky's out?
No, well, yeah, sorry. Sziky's out, but Bonyth goes through to the loser bracket semifinals against DeWalt. That's going to be a best-of-5 series. And now we've got Mihu and Zanhoon, 2 Chinese players in the finals. We haven't really had 2 Chinese players in the grand finals ever. That's now possible with both Mihu and Zanhoon going through. There is that loser bracket finals. One of them will drop down to facing off against either Bonyth or DeWalt, and they will then go through. So there's a chance for a double Chinese finals for the first time in the Bombastic Starleague. This is crazy times.
Wow. Yeah, we are living in crazy times right now. To see Bonyth and DeWalt in the losers bracket. And let's just give a second for our Zergs. I mean, with Sziky officially being knocked off here, let's just have a moment of silence here for our Zergs. We love you, Sziky. You'll be back stronger than ever. Crossy last week. I mean, for the Zergs to be knocked out at this point, but to get this far, I think was good. But I would personally, as a Zerg player, would like to see our Zergs, get into this too. But when you see these last 4 guys, it's just insane.
Yeah.
To even try to crack it this far in the first place. So hats off to our Hungarian dragon for getting it this far.
It was a brilliant effort, but what can you do? I mean, now we've got the final 4. It's going to be the Terminator surrounded by 3 Protoss dragons. There's a lot to slay. Maybe he can go all the way. I'm super excited. I mean, Zanhoon is just so monstrous, though. Zanhoon is one of the other fiery Chinese players that just looks unstoppable sometimes. His macro engine is almost unparalleled. That's going to be an explosive best-of-7 series.
Yeah, so is that what we're getting into today, or are we done for...
No, I think we are done for today. I know it's a very short stay for you. Unfortunately, the series are very one-sided. I mean, it is what it is with StarCraft. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, it's like sometimes it's an hour long.
I want more Zero. I want more matches.
I would love to have more games to cast right now. Unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of almost across the board whitewashes. They're so one-sided sometimes, these series. Is crazy, but valiant efforts nonetheless though from our players. Just unfortunately some of these guys are just so good. What can you do?
It's a like you said, these guys, it's like the what am I trying to say right now? These guys are all killers. These guys are all killers. Just one thing though, I'm just curious on your input. Zanhoon and Mihu, the 2 Chinese that are left, are they arguably the top 2 Chinese foreigners?
In my opinion, they are. Obviously, I have my own subjective opinion, but yes, I would say subjectively they are, and arguably objectively if you look at their records. But definitely subjectively, I would say they are the 2 best players.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And for them to come out this far again, I mean, to see these 2 names along with Bonyth and DeWalt, it's just incredible. So like a lot of people that came in late to this stream, I'm sure you're wanting to want more, but you're gonna have to wait for so I guess next week.
That's show business 101 though, right? Always leave them wanting more.
Yes.
And we here at Bombastic,
and we have insatiable appetites. We want more and more Zero, so keep it coming, and everyone continue to support. Throw as many donations as you can to keep this going. Just just want to say.
Why don't you talk a little bit about some of our sponsors here, Jiraiya, and show some love to these guys?
Yes. This none of this wouldn't have happened. I can't talk without our sponsors here for BSL19. So Liquid Nazgul and Liquid Steve, big supporters here. Keep this thing going. And this is the worst part. I can't do this part, Zune, and I just keep blabbering on right now. So I'm gonna stop.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. I usually do this part. I want you to do it. Come on, you got this, buddy. Come on.
Right, so obviously the MVP CRVT. My God, I mean that guy is obviously just so big and impactful for the community. He's the biggest dono. You see him come in and do these large amounts, and really big hats off whenever you see him. Everyone should just say hi, what's up, how are you, happy holidays to you and yours. You know what I'm saying? He's the MVP out there. And then exactly. And just going down the list, I mean, Dragon, he's the blue chip Protoss. I think we usually go down to like the Wolf of Wall Street situation. Andrew, 200 a month. I mean, he's another MVP. Gonna put him right next to CRVT. But Bombastic General, we got My Fleeting Dream at the $100 per month. This is the Patreons here. Bombastic Colonel, we got Striker 50 a month. Bombastic Major plus at $30 a month. Tim and Tupac. I know both of those guys. Well, I know all of these guys. A lot of guys here in the $20 mark. Bombastic Major. We got Yu Jiang, Matt Dino, Steven Robertson, KJ Streaming Channel, Daniel Lopez, LML, Nicholas Schuler, and Scheming Gypsy, and so on and so on. A lot of guys here. Love to see this list continue to grow year in and year out, season in, season out. So definitely jump on there. All the links are in Zero's stream.
Yeah, I mean, we really do appreciate your support, guys, here. And if you do want to give a little bit of extra love and you want to show it on your back and wear it with pride, we have a little bit of merch.
You know what?
as
I'm
well.
doing that right now. I'm doing that
Yeah.
right now. I'm
Do
going to
it,
buy
do it.
myself a shirt, Zero. I've been meaning
Do
to
it.
say that. I'm going to do that right now. And
Do it, you
anyone
won't.
that came from my raid recently, buy a shirt right now. I'm going to post it in my thing, in my Discord. I'm going to show the receipt and all that. I'm buying that right this second. Everyone jump on that, buy some merch, support
Woo.
BSL
I
here.
love how the logo is just made up of the names of the support. It looks so clean. It looks so cool. It's both creative and also.
Oh, yeah.
It's what more do you want in the design, guys? Just go and get this merch. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay, well, I think that's going to be it from us today here, Jirai. You had such a short stay, and we did cast together way back when.
I
And
know.
it's a
I had
shame
so much
that
fun with you. You know what?
we had a
Honestly,
great time.
casting with you is fantastic, but I love listening to you too, and I'm not the only one that says that.
Oh, come on. You're super tongue charmer. You're just being
I'm
nice.
a fan. I'm a fan. I like to be on the other side. You know what I'm saying? When I'm a fan, I like to be, in my seat, just listening. But thanks for having me, Zero. Thanks for having me, Zune. I know it was short, but I love these things. And looking forward to the next one.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great weekend. And the rest of your week, and the next week, and the week after that. Have a great Christmas. We all love you here, and we'll see you again next time very, very soon. Take care. Peace.